Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome back to Chilligans, where we have little Mal here doing some yoga. She's getting loose and getting ready for the big task we have ahead of us, because today we are continuing the quest to get all of the hybrid flowers, and we're going to do that in this 12 by 12 space. So I have separated the area into 4 zones to make it easier to see. Up top we have zone 1, which is a 3 by 12. Zone 2 is 4 by 12. Zone 3, 2 by 12, and zone 4 is another 3 by 12. Now I do want to say this is not my original idea. This came from Datamine that has been available since the game came out. I'm sure there are plenty of other videos with this same concept. This is more so a continuation of my Let's Play, just showing you guys what I'm doing and how I'm doing it in kind of a how-to format. So if you're new to the game, or if you've never seen this before, then you can get all the information you need from this video and follow along. But I will cite the original sources to the best of my knowledge down in the description below. So we're going to start up top with zone 1. I have all of the flowers that we need. They are in planting order and separated by row. And I went ahead and pre-planted all of these elsewhere on my island in preparation for this video, so they are already fully bloomed and ready to go. So the first thing we want to do at the very top of zone 1, we want to leave a space. May have gone too far. And we want to plant our 2 white roses. Another space, a red mum and yellow mum. Another space, white and a yellow rose. Space, and the last white and yellow. So when we go down to the second row, you will actually start at the very end. You're going to do kind of a staggered planting. So you've got your 2 white windflowers, space, red and yellow cosmo, so on and so forth. And when you get down to the 3rd row, you're going to skip that space just like you did in the top row. And start just like that. So I'm going to put up a graphic, a couple of graphics, just to kind of show you guys the order that these need to be planted in zone 1 and the outcomes that you want to see from these breeding pairs. You will notice that there is a seed bag next to all of these. So that means you want to plant all of these from seed. That is very important. I have stressed this before, but I'll do it again. Genetics are coded into this game, so when you're trying to breed hybrids, especially the more involved ones like blue roses, maybe even green mums that require a couple of different steps to get, you want to make sure that you are not muddying up the genetic pool. You want to use seeded flowers to begin with, so you won't have any problem, because it's going to, if you just use random flowers, you're going to have a bunch of different possible outcomes, and it's going to make the process a lot harder and take a lot more time. Alright, so this is what your zone 1 is going to look like. And your output from zone 1 is going to go down into zone 2 to continue the process. Next, we're going to skip down to zone 4. These combinations are going to give you your one-off or final form flowers. And what I mean by that is the hybrids you get in this zone cannot be used to create any other hybrids. So again, these have all been pre-planted, so they are fully bloomed and ready to go. On this one, you want to start in the first space. Do your planting, skip a space, so on and so forth, and you'll do that same staggered planting that we did in zone 1. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up another graphic showing the outcomes of the zone 4 combinations. Be sure to pause if you want to copy down this information, and make sure you also note that all of these seeds are also, all of these flowers are also from seeds. The only ones not coming from seeds, you'll see it in the graphic, not necessarily as I'm planting because I don't have them yet, but there are orange roses at the end on the bottom row. Those will come from zone 3, and those will be the ones to give you your blue roses. So now that you've planted your flowers for zones 1 and 4, the next step is to start watering. Now, I'm going to skip planting for zones 2 and 3 for now, because everything you put in there is going to come from zone 1, and since we don't have anything just yet, I want to make sure that I don't put anything down there for someone to accidentally water and it ends up cloning itself, and it's just going to be more for me to have to clean up after the fact. So for right now, we'll just stick with zones 1 and 4. So just a little side note, the purpose of watering is to promote breeding or cloning. So you won't necessarily need to do this if you are starting from seeds, as you should be, but if you're putting the seeds directly into your 12 by 12 plot, you don't need to water right away. That will just be a waste of your time and a waste of power in your watering can. Your flowers cannot breed or clone until they reach the budding stage. And just an example of that, this is the budding stage. This is when you first see color in your flowers. So when they get to this point, they can actually start breeding, and that is when you want to start watering them. So since all of my flowers are fully bloomed, we're going to go ahead and water all of them, and we'll just call this day 1. Now there are 2 ways that you can go about watering. You can do it all yourself, which is going to take you a very long time to reach your goal of getting all of the flowers. Or you can have up to 5 people from other islands come in and water them as well. Now, unless you don't have Nintendo Online or don't care, how long it takes, I would highly recommend getting help, and this is why. So this is the day after I planted all the flowers and I watered them all myself. As you can see, none of them breeded at all. There's no offspring anywhere. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to water them, and I'm going to have 5 people come in from other islands to water them and show you the difference. Alright folks, so I'm back. I just wanted to pop in and show you the last person came in and watered flowers. We had 5 people, and now the flowers are at maximum breeding capability, and I wanted to show you what you need to look for when that happens. So you'll see this really bright kind of crescent moon sparkle on all of the flowers. That means that they all have a very high possibility of breeding and giving off offspring. So that is what you want to look for. You may notice a big time jump. I can explain all that in the comments if you want to know, but basically I had a little snafu and had to start over. So I dug up all the flowers, got to where I needed to get, and then planted them back. So this is still day 2 for these flowers. There hasn't been any other watering or anything like that, so we're still on track. But anyway, again, day 2 had 5 people come in, and we're gonna go to the next day and see what happens. Okay, this is day 3, and you can see a huge difference in output. So day 2, after me watering all of the flowers by myself, there was absolutely no breeding happening, and now that we had 5 people come in, I think just about every pair gave off an offspring. But this is a huge difference. So this is why I always stress having people come in and water for you if you can make that happen. So I'm gonna throw up a little chart and just kind of show you some numbers, just kind of show you the increase in output the more people you have come in to help. So as your flowers start breeding, you can see you're gonna have a lot of extra flowers to deal with. What you can do is just get rid of the ones you don't need. I tend to keep a trash can nearby and I just throw them away. You can do that. If you have the extra time, you can go and sell them to the Nooklings, whatever you want to do. But when it comes to your hybrids, especially from zone 4, I set up a cloning station nearby. So all of my hybrid flowers go in here, and they're separated by color. So all my blue flowers will go here. I think the largest section, there's like 7 pinks, and then so I put 7 pinks and 1 green in here, and then you've got your purples and oranges, so on and so forth. I think this is for the black flowers. So again, separate them by color so they don't have a chance of breeding with one another. You just put them in here, let them do their thing, and water them, and they will clone themselves. If you don't want to do that, probably at some point you're going to clean out a lot of these parent flowers, so you can just keep them over here if you are tied up for space and you want to keep everything within this 12 by 12 space. You can just let them stay in here and clone themselves, whatever you want to do. So we've talked about the importance of watering, touched on the cloning area, and we've gone over zones 1 and 4. I want to move on to zones 2 and 3, the largest and smallest zones respectively. So in zone 2, That is going to be comprised mainly of the offspring of Zone 1, with the exception of a few seeds. You're going to have 1 yellow and 1 red rose, 2 red windflowers, and 2 red pansy seeds. I'm going to throw up the graphic and show you the layout of all of that. Of course, again, pause if you need to, copy down the information. It's also going to show you with a little seed bag symbol which flowers you need from seeds. So you'll take a look at that, and I'm also going to throw up the information on the offspring that you want to see from these pairs. Alright, so now that you have that information, let's go ahead and move on to Zone 3. We're going to put up that graphic as well, and all of the flowers in Zone 3 are going to be completely made up of Zone 2 offspring. So this is where you're going to get into a lot of the purple flowers. You're going to get your purple pansy and windflower from here. You'll get the green mums from here. And you'll also be on your way to making a blue rose. So here is the layout for zones 2 and 3. And this is just an overhead view of what they look like in the game. Alright, so we are currently on day 19 of the process, and I want to take a minute or two to go over blue roses. You've seen the layouts, you've seen the order of operations, but there is one little step in between zones 2 and 3 that we need to go over that is going to be crucial. So just to recap, in zone 1 you're going to breed your 2 white roses to get purple, and that's this one right here. Then also in zone 1 you're going to breed a seed white and seed yellow to get a special white rose, which is this one right here. You'll breed these together in zone 2. And disregard my layout right now. I have moved everything around. I've gotten rid of all my extra flowers. So these would normally be in zone 2. But once you breed those together, you want a purple. So once you get that purple flower, there is, it usually will go into zone 3, but what you need to do, because there is actually a chance that it won't always have the correct genetic makeup to give you your end result, which is a blue rose. So in order to test that, you will want to take that rose and breed it with a seed yellow. So there's a 50-50 chance that you will either get a white rose or a yellow rose. If you get a yellow rose, you're good to go. That's exactly what you want. You'll move that purple onto zone 3. However, if you get a white rose, you can either go ahead and trash it or test it again. Like I said, there's a 50-50 chance, so just because you didn't get it the first day or get a yellow on the first day doesn't mean you won't get it the next day. I've had that happen. So as you can see here, all of my little testers here have produced white roses. Now I usually test them about 3 times before I move on to the next thing. So I could keep these here, water them, and see what happens tomorrow. If I had gotten a yellow bud from these, I would take that purple, move it into zone 3, And like I said, I've moved everything around, so now mine are up here. So it would pair with the orange that you would get as a result of your seed red and yellow from zone 2. You'll breed those together in zone 3 in hopes of producing a special orange. Now, if you remember the layout for zone 4, the 2 orange roses at the very end, those are your special oranges that will give you a blue rose, and this is where you get them from. So once your orange and purple pair produces a special orange, you take it and you want to get as many as you can, breed them together, and they will eventually give you a blue rose. So that's really all there is to it. There's just that one extra step. You need to test your purple to make sure that it is going to give you what you need. And once you do that, just go on to zone 3. So what I have done in the layout, there's only room for 2 special roses. But since I have cleaned out everything that I don't need, I am just in the process of collecting as many as I can, putting them all together, and I let them do their thing, and this is the result. So again, this is day 19 since we planted all of the initial flowers. To be honest, I was really getting ready in the beginning of this to recommend the 4-step process that I introduced a while back. I really thought that the 12 by 12 was going to take longer, but in reality it has actually taken 2 days less. Now, of course, results will vary. It just depends on your watering, how much room you have, how many special roses you have to put together, all that good stuff. But I really could not say that one is better than the other. If you just want blue roses, then I would say go for the 4-step process. But if you are starting from the beginning and you want all of the hybrids, then this process is just as good and just as fast. So I want to show you guys what I have done, what I'm going to do next. I think I mentioned before that I am down to my last 3 flowers, 3 hybrids. The blue rose was one. I also needed purple tulips, and I got a couple of those today. So I am going to clean all of these roses and tulips out, and the last thing I need is a black Cosmo. So I'm just going to focus on that. I'm going to put all of my energy into these. I might isolate 1 or 2 to clone them so I can get more, and hopefully we will have our last flower pretty soon. Okay guys, it is January 17th in game, day 31 of our hybrid flower project, and as you can see, we finally got the last hybrid that we needed, the black Cosmo. This one was a really stubborn one. I got all of the other flowers, and I think it was 12 days before I actually got this one. So, from the last hybrid flower that I got. Oh, okay, Daisy May. Let's get out of the way. Alright, so anyway, finally got the last flower, very excited. As I mentioned, it took 31 days from the day that I planted the fully bloomed flowers to today, the last hybrid in the game. And I'm going to put down in the comments a breakdown of the number of days it took to get each flower, just in case anyone is curious, or if you want to make kind of an estimate of how long it might take you to get one specific flower. Do remember that I did have people water flowers every day except for that very first day. And my day 1 is from fully bloomed seeded flowers. So keep that in mind when you are making your own estimations, and of course results will vary. So this is pretty exciting. Let me know if you guys try this out and what you think about it. Tell me down in the comments what your most stubborn flower was, because clearly for me it was the Black Cosmo, and if I remember correctly, the last time I tried this about a year ago, it may have been either this or the purple windflower. So everyone, if you've gotten this far along in the video, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope it was a little bit helpful, a little bit enjoyable. If it was, or even if it wasn't, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions about what I did, or how to achieve certain goals, flowers, whatever. But I did want to take another second before we close out to show you my little cloning section off to the right of the 12 by 12 grid. This is all of the hybrids. I have them separated by color, and I'm just going to continue to water all of these. I probably won't have other people water them for me. I'll just do it myself and let them do their thing. So they will clone, and I'll get as many as I need to start decorating my island. So again, let me know if you try this out. Let me know what you think about it. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks again for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!